This is crazy. I mean, I really can't explain everything that just happened in the last hour. Look, here it is. Look, here it is. Here it is. One goes to Panama, one to Havana. This is Bogotá, which is the one we're taking. And another one to Panama. Because the rest are for the next day. Today, okay, it definitely didn't work out. How impressive. I mean, it's like when it's your turn, there's nothing you can do to avoid it. And when it's not your turn, there's nothing you can do to make it happen. New day, new adventure. This pair of crazy people is going on another trip. This time, honestly, with a bit of a bittersweet feeling because, well, it's a trip we had already booked since January. Something like that. And we're really excited. Honestly, I have to admit that I'm really excited about everything we're going to do. But at the same time, I'm a little scared because I don't know if we'll leave Venezuela and then not be able to come back in, or what the whole situation will be like during the time we're traveling. So I have mixed feelings.
We're among the few people who didn't miss the flight. We didn't lose the chance to travel this December because honestly, a lot of people were left wanting to either come or leave the country. The airlines have already announced that there aren't any set dates, but ours, for now, it's confirmed. So we are going to be able to fly today.
We might get to the airport and be told you aren't going. By the way, we're headed to Colombia. That's why the airline Wingo decided to continue its operations, while all the airlines going to or coming from Europe are cancelled. We're lucky.
And we hope to come back in 11 days.
Amen, amen.
That's the plan. It's a short trip, but a good one.
So, well, let's go because we're in a hurry and we want to show you this gem, but we'll tell you more about it at the airport. For now, look, that's all. We'll show you a little bit around here. Look at this level. It's a new product from our little store, local store, but like I said, we're in a hurry. We'll see you in a few minutes and tell you about them.
Locos de viaje, everyone! Another one something like this, look!
It makes me excited.
Oh, how beautiful, right? Really, how gorgeous, how beautiful, what a spectacular cruise, everyone, you have to come! And by the way, the prices are affordable.
We're really scared because we don't know if we're going to make it. It's 12 o'clock, it's 12. We're just barely making it. And we're only just passing through Central Park. But, well, if it's meant for us, not even if we step aside, we're not stepping aside, we're stepping aside. We're not cooperating with destiny.
2 afternoons of travel. The train passes by today, really. We shouldn't leave things until the last minute.
Careful, yesterday was really complicated.
"1:43 in the afternoon, we finished check-in. They sent me to have my suitcase checked. It's the first time in my life I've been taken to the little room.
Well, but we knew because actually,
I even anticipated it.
we anticipated it and they didn't listen to us and, well, it was obvious that we were going to.
And the thing is, we brought the weights, the diving weights. Because since on the cruise we're going to be visiting Caribbean islands and we want to do free diving, well, we traveled with our weights.
Did you already say we were going on a cruise?
No, but my mom said it 7 times in the car.
Oh, that's true. Oh, I'm really craving a hamburger before we catch that flight. Because I'm not just craving it, I'm hungry. But the line is long even though I think only 2 flights are leaving today.
Look, here it is, here it is. One is going to Panama, one to Havana. This one to Bogotá, which we're taking, and another to Panama. Because the rest are for the next day. Well, actually not even the next day, 2 days later. Today is November 28th when this video is being recorded, and the next flights on the screen said November 30th. Tomorrow, the 29th, there are no flights, and today there are just 4. What a crazy thing. And honestly, it took way too long to check in. I mean, it took forever. We arrived at 2:30, a bit late, since we left at 1:43 and spent an hour and 20 minutes in the check-in line.
I feel like this trip. Look, during the pandemic, we didn't know it was coming. But I'm a bit scared it could be like 2020 when we left, thinking we'd only be gone a month.
No, I hope not. I really hope not.
But anyway, remember that we live here, and these are very sensitive topics that we have to handle. With Plavita, yes.
Yes, with a clamp, yes.
So, well, let's hope we make it to the burger. Everything that could have happened to make us late happened.
They let a bunch of people go in before us.
Yeah, we were in line. We were fourth in line to go in and have our bags checked. Everyone behind us was let in first when they opened another line. But I'm going to eat my burger.
So, well, the fact is that we literally wasted all the time we could possibly waste. It's 2:20 and the flight leaves at 3 o'clock post-meridian, but boarding already started at 1:50. But Ninita had to eat her hamburger.
Yes, she needed to eat.
We're waiting, having ordered to go and rush to the door, which is actually the other way. But anyway, protect me, Lord, with your spirit. Before boarding, I told them it wouldn't happen to me again. I download my Holafly eSIM and activate it right away so that as soon as I land in Colombia, Holafly offers unlimited data in over 200 destinations worldwide. I'm connected as soon as the plane lands. Last time I told you about it on Instagram, I arrived in Panama. The airport Wi-Fi was terrible. I said, well, I'm going to turn on the data from a SIM I have in Portugal, and they charged me 60 euros for roaming. Literally for like 3 or 4 minutes, which is how long it takes to set up the Holafly eSIM. I mean, I didn't use roaming for the whole trip, which was just 1 day. No, I only used it to activate the eSIM. Plus, this is unlimited data. I mean, this works really, really well. So, well, while they're serving us the burger, I buy my eSIM for Colombia for a couple of days, because then we're taking the cruise, and on the cruise there's a data plan activated. But, well, we'll talk about that later. Of course, before paying, you type here, Dos Locos de Viaje, all together, and you get your discount. Look, 5 off. Now then, pay. I already have my eSIM. See all these from Spain. 1 day, 3 days, 1 day, 1 day. It's endless. eSIM France, Colombia, Brazil, Spain. Well, now you go to your email. You literally get the confirmation almost immediately. Sometimes you just tap here and it lets you add the eSIM right away. I mean, just imagine how easy it is. I honestly can't tell you it's any easier because it's impossible. That's it. Look, activate your new eSIM from Holafly is ready to activate. You just have to wait, obviously, for the phone signal. It takes 10-20 seconds and that's it. I mean, really, and that's it. Impressive?
Love,
What happened?
we're in the sweet wait, but for our burger.
I mean, really, if Valerie were actually pregnant, look, honestly, 100 is fine. Look,
You always spoil me, okay? No discrimination against women who don't have children, okay? We deserve to be spoiled all the time.
what you deserve is to be aware, not spoiled, that we could miss a flight because of a craving for a burger. Look,
It's not a craving. I'm really hungry.
I told Valerie she should do intermittent fasting.
This is as far as it goes. See you on the plane. See you on the plane. But I don't agree with him. Just kidding. Here we do allow freedom of speech.
Everyone watching this channel should.
That's not true, and that's it. I'll counter-argue.
You won't have any arguments because I'm going to speak,
Yes, arguments.
but I'm about to. Let me speak. Intermittent fasting is
It's not for everyone.
one of the things that has changed my life. I mean, it's incredible.
Because you're a man.
And I know that women can't do it because of hormonal issues and so on, just like men, however, and obviously under medical supervision, seeing a professional, you can do intermittent fasting, maybe for 12 hours and not 16, like I do. To clarify, I don't do it regularly, but there was a time in my life. For 6 months I did intermittent fasting, 16 hours at a time, and eventually started fasting for up to 24 hours on some days. And the amount of benefits? Not only did I lose my appetite or lose weight and all that, no, that's cool. But now, I own and control my mind. Valerie, when she's hungry, she loses it.
Okay, now it's my turn.
Hold on, but let me finish.
I'm at a nutritionist.
When Valerie is hungry, she loses it.
She doesn't recommend that I fast. He said, you can fast while traveling, but it's not always recommended. So consult a nutritionist to evaluate your situation rather than following advice from someone on Instagram. Please don't be those people who follow influencers where you don't even know if there's a proven theory behind it and they can just say any nonsense. Be aware.
I fully support it and have no issue with what he's saying. In fact, even Sasha Fitness herself has said that she doesn't do intermittent fasting, but the time she has done it, even 12 hours and 12 hours, it's really not crazy at all. You go to bed at 9 at night and eat the next day at 9 in the morning.
What time did we have dinner yesterday?
Yesterday we had dinner at 8, and today breakfast at 8. You know what? Don't do anything. I feel proud of all the benefits that doing 16-hour intermittent fasting has brought me. The self-control it gives me. You should have seen this woman in the lines. She was about to explode.
It was for something else, okay? I don't get how it takes so long. That was different. Add my burger craving to that, but my annoyance was personal.
Maybe the annoyance will be greater.
I'm going to get my burger.
We're going to miss the flight. Men, don't argue with your wives. You'll lose. Honestly, you either tie or lose. Usually I lose. It's tough even when I tie. Winning doesn't exist. What does it even mean?
If you're wrong, you lose.
What is winning? And here we are with our flippers. Oh, what a mess, but I love it. So, do you think we actually made it?
Yes, if we got on, it was meant for us.
2:32? I feel like I'm in a zombie movie, literally. 3 people in the whole airport. And the craziest thing is that they all gathered right when we were going through immigration. Immigration, a line of 50 people, obviously, from this flight. But generally speaking, look, all the stores are completely empty. Full of products, but empty of people. Just a couple, that's it. And over here too, empty. I long for and dream of the moment when this airport is packed. Sure, later I might complain about the long lines we have to wait in, but I know that will be the least of all the benefits that will come from having many people visit our country, do tourism, and spread the word about the beauty of our country. And that's it. Every time I travel, I get reflective, although I don't know if I'm going to travel this time or not. God squeezes but doesn't strangle. We made it, and look, they haven't even started check-in yet. Honestly, we're lucky. We came here to Golfeado. Let's order a little coffee and a Golfeado. Niñita at Golfeado. I don't know if it was just an excuse to eat here or if you actually wanted a Golfeado too. This place is really beautiful, honestly. This space is super nice. Wow, this looks delicious.
My burger is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Amazing. So good. I ordered the Vinatinto, and it has fries like from a hot dog inside. Really tasty.
I think the joke about missing the flight is going to come true. And not because we're going to miss this one we're getting on, but the next one. Since we arrive in Bogotá at 4 in the afternoon and take the next flight to Cartagena at 7:20 at night. There were 3 hours and 20 minutes, enough time, but the Wingo flight is already an hour and a half delayed. Right now we're starting to check in. We'll see what time we leave, but I definitely don't think we'll make it. Let's go through immigration in Colombia, check in with Avianca, our next airline, and then board our flight. I see it as practically impossible. The numbers just don't add up for me, unless the pilot puts on turbo in the air. But, well, these are things that happen on flights in the life of travelers, especially if we're from Venezuela. I got ahead of Ninita because you know that at the airport in Venezuela, After the passport check by the airline, there's a drug inspection, and then you can check in, but before boarding the plane, there's another inspection by the military, I think it's also for drugs, where they search men's bodies and women's too, and you have to line up separately, men and women. I think there were far more women in this case. I decided to go ahead of Valerie so I could put away these fins I have here and find some space. Since it seems like the flight is full. At 5:06 in the afternoon, when it was supposed to be at 3, we are about to take off. Wish us luck. I'm scared, right? I don't think we're going to make it, not even with a miracle.
I'm not afraid of flying in general.
That's true, but well, that's it.
And in the end, we did miss a flight.
We arrived in Bogotá still on the plane, and here I turn on my Holafly data. We wait a few seconds and I should have signal at any moment now. There, I'm already on long-term evolution just like that. We can confirm. Indeed, we have internet, we have Instagram, and ever since we landed, we've been connected with unlimited data. The best part of all, you already know it. With the code Dos Locos de Viaje, you'll get a discount, so we've left a link in the description. You can click there and the discount will be applied automatically. Use Holafly before you travel to your next destination.
Maybe we will miss a flight.
The airline lady said, please, those who don't have a connecting flight, stay seated. And look at how many people stood up.
We all have connecting flights, or some people just didn't listen.
Maybe we all have connecting flights, or people just wouldn't cooperate. Who knows why? But yeah, no, I don't think we'll make it anyway. In a few minutes, you'll see us running. But let's cross our fingers and see if we make it. Immigration. 6 minutes away. We left Valerie, but anyway, I'm going ahead now. Okay, definitely didn't work out. Today, people just weren't in the mood to be nice in any way. I went to the usual Avianca counter to get a preferential immigration pass because the lines are terrible. They said, no, we don't give that here. I replied, what? But they've given it to me at least 4 times when their flights are delayed and the connection time is very short. No, you have to go through immigration and then go to the Avianca counter. I said, I want to use preferential immigration. The officer replied, no, I can't process you without the green ticket. The preferential line was clearly empty. I said, sir, I checked in already at 7:20 and don't want to miss my flight. He replied, I can't help you without the preferential ticket, and Avianca couldn't either. Wingo was a disaster. Their flight was delayed over 2 hours. I mean, seriously, everything went wrong today? Everything went wrong today. Look at this madness. The Wi-Fi at El Dorado Airport only gives you 30 minutes for free. But if you're going to have, I don't know, like a 4-hour layover, which was more or less what we had at first, it's $9 for a day, $12. I paid $10 for 2 days with unlimited data with Holafly. Honestly, the recommendation is genuine. We tried it on each of our trips and it works really, really well. In fact, well, I don't even use the airport Wi-Fi. I already have, look, right up here, Holafly, and it works very well. In the description of this video, I'll leave you the link. Impressive. I secretly filmed the immigration lines for you, even though recording there isn't allowed. So you could see that we were the last ones. I mean, literally the last ones. All the conveyor belts have already stopped completely. They probably took our luggage off and sent it down to a place where we have to go claim it. How impressive. I mean, it's like when it's your turn, there's nothing you can do to avoid it, and when it's not your turn, there's nothing you can do to make it happen. We had to wait in the regular foreigner line, which took an hour and a half. I mean, look, it's 7:06 in the evening and we arrived at 5:45. The flight leaves in 10 minutes. Obviously, I mean, we're not even going to try to go to the Avianca airline, only to Wingo to see if they give us any answer because tomorrow's flight is now $600. And the craziest thing of all is that I saw the immigration officer with a passenger in the same situation and they did stamp her passport. Just to be clear, she wasn't Venezuelan, she was Colombian. I don't know if Colombians get preference at that counter, but yeah, the immigration officer was really tough and didn't help us. Of course, Wingo and Avianca, but I mean terrible, both of them were terrible. And then a girl from the airport, really nice I have to say, told me, look, now those preferential check-in cards are given out on the plane. They don't give them out in the hallway anymore. And I was like, but just a few months ago they gave it to me. So that's probably why. Maybe the girl from Avianca had no idea. And the people from Wingo didn't tell me on the plane either, even though I told them I had a connecting flight. In fact, I asked if I could sit closer to the front so I could run when I got off the plane, but nothing. So well, we're going to stay in Bogotá, find a hotel. Now we have to look for our suitcases, which we don't know where they are, and fly tomorrow. We'll keep you informed to see if Wingo takes responsibility for anything. Look, not everything that's happened to us is bad. And today on Instagram, I posted a story asking who rents drones in Bogota or Cartagena. Because, well, you know how complicated the situation is. You can't bring drones into or out of Venezuela. And obviously, I'm not going to risk putting a drone in my bag and leaving just for tourism. Because, well, the consequences can be complicated. And many, really, more than 10 people offered to give me the drone or rent me the drone, but, well, many were in Barranquilla, some in Cali, others in Medellin, and the great Julio. You're awesome, brother, thanks. I mean, he even came to the airport to lend me his drone for a week without knowing me in person. And on top of that, he's going to lend me a Mavic 3 Pro. Which, for those who know about drones, I mean, yeah, it's one of the best drones on the market. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man, really. I mean, I have no words to thank you. Of course, yeah, literally. He made my day. We invited him to dinner, but he said, no, I'm making halakas with my family. Still, he paused making halakas to come to the airport. I mean, he's awesome, really. Thank you, brother, a hug, really. Thank you, the day is going to get better now. Thank you, brother, thank you, this is crazy. I mean, I really can't explain everything that just happened in the last hour. But to go in chronological order, we went, of course, to Wingo. After we had that magical encounter with Julio, who lent us not one but 2 drones, he lent us a new one of those that follows you, and it's called DJI Neo 2. And well, we got to the airline. They told us that obviously they weren't going to give us any money back, that it wasn't their fault, that it was something governmental, that's why the flight was delayed, and that they weren't responsible for anything. They just gave us a letter to see if the next airline would have pity on us. That's exactly what they said. Or if not, at least they would change our flight and we would pay the fare difference, but we wouldn't have to pay a penalty for missing the next flight. Which will be impossible because Avianca doesn't have any more flights from today until tomorrow, which is the time we need to arrive in Cartagena. So basically, we spent an hour waiting at the Wingo counter, being the only ones they were helping, just so they could fill out a little letter for us. I'm not sure if you have it, honey.
I feel like today we're just super unlucky. I just think statistically it will happen to us eventually. We travel so much that some trips are bound to be affected.
Where everything goes wrong, exactly. I mean, all for this little note, literally this little note, an hour at Wingo, just for them to write us this that says, by means of this letter, we certify that the passenger was affected by the Caracas-Bogotá route of Flight 711 on November 29th due to issues outside the airline's control. Country time restrictions for the departure and arrival of aircraft. This certificate is issued upon request, November 29th. An hour just to get this little letter. It's useless because we can't even get our flight back with Avianca, which was the next airline we were flying with to Cartagena. Well, the thing is, I said, I'm going to look for a hotel near the airport, because tomorrow I was checking flights with another airline called JetSmart, and the flight leaves at 11 in the morning. So I said, I don't want to be rushing. This time I'm leaving with plenty of time and all that. And when I go to book a hotel that's near the airport, I set the filters and so on. 2, 3, 5 miles. I don't get why my booking uses miles instead of kilometers. So I see one, I book it, and when I put the address into Uber, 45 minutes from the airport.
You should also include that in the complaint, that this time it could have been false information to scam you. Because the worst part is that they don't offer refunds. You had to pay in order to make the reservation, and they say, no, look, we don't do refunds.
Yeah, the worst part is that we usually book hotels that have free cancellation. Free cancellation. But since we were going straight to the hotel, what's the big deal? We just went for it. Non-refundable hotels sometimes offer better prices. It said it dropped from 105 euros to 69, a significant discount. When I got in the Uber, it had already been driving for 10 minutes with 38 minutes left. I said, no, we can't spend an hour. He replied, it's on Bogotá's outskirts. You have to leave the city, pay a toll, everything, leaving Bogotá. And I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I couldn't believe it.
No, really. But before, we're just jumping right into the Uber.
Exactly.
But between the hotel and realizing that the hotel is 45 minutes away, we were waiting for the Uber and...
The flaps on my bag keep falling off, including when the Uber arrives. I put the flaps back on the bag, and just as I finish putting the flaps on the bag and look up, because they fell off right at the crosswalk just as I look up. A car literally passed right by me. Well, I'm sure I must have a guardian angel. But from the guard, who besides is...
From the Guardian?
From the guard, and from the guardian, exactly.
From the Guardian.
Yes, from the guardian.
Nothing from the guard, please.
It's true, nothing from the guard. Or a super ripped angel. An angel, but look, I don't know. It's crazy. He loves me a lot. The car passed just 5 centimeters from my foot. If I'd stepped forward, it would have hit my whole foot, and it didn't even stop. He kept going like a madman, and even the taxi driver behind said, damn, that guy's crazy. What happened to him? That was exactly what the taxi driver said there at the exit of the Bogotá airport. Well, we got in the Uber. After all that happened to us, I told the Uber driver, please wait a minute, stop here. I go back into booking, look for another hotel, and find one called Fairfield by Marriott. The room, $100, unlike the 70-something the other one cost. Well, but it doesn't matter. This one is 15 minutes from the airport. Unfortunately, there was no refund at the other hotel. We lost that money and arrived at this hotel, and now we don't even want to go out. Honestly, we haven't had dinner yet. Valeri wanted to buy something, but...
I already prayed on our Father, and I'm asking God for a few answers because I don't understand what He's trying to tell us. Apparently, we're in Mercury retrograde and it's causing this. But the good news is that Emmanuel wasn't run over. We're alive and the only losses today are monetary. Everything has a solution, okay? So let's finish this day with the best attitude possible. I told Emma I think I'd rather not leave the hotel. But honestly, the food, I don't know. We haven't checked it out. If we find something nice at a reasonable price, we'll stay here and tomorrow we'll reset. Actually, I told Emma I want to work out. I want to go to the gym. We asked at the front desk, until what time is the gym open? Normally hotels close around 11. It's already closed and I won't even be able to do that. Just a little exercise to unwind. But, well, a nice hot bath. Maybe cold, I don't know. Eat, sleep, and tomorrow is a new day.
It's crazy that they told us the gym is only open until 4 in the afternoon. At what Marriott? What kind of Marriott manager thinks it's a good idea to have the gym open only until 4 in the afternoon? Yeah, usually people go to the gym at night or in the morning. Morning is fine.
At night, since you usually arrive at the hotel around 3 in the afternoon?
That's right, check-in is at 3 p.m.
Exactly. You arrive at 3 in the afternoon, leave your things, get settled a bit, and go out at night. But anyway...
Love, I have a suggestion for you. Let's end this video here.
I'm sorry guys, you're witnessing an outpouring of emotions, I swear. I hope all of this is for something wonderful because we really deserve it. I mean, that's enough. And obviously, I'm kind of mixing a lot of things, but it's just that everything is part of this chain of unpleasant events. And I want to finish by telling you that I've had faith from the very first moment. I mean, my whole life. I've always had faith and won't stop now. And I have faith. That's all I'm going to say. And not the Vinotinto kind of faith, because that one let me down. This is a faith that goes much
Greater?
It's like
A greater faith that we all share.
we don't deserve it as Venezuelans. That's it. Let's hope that the lesson has been learned, internalized, and that what comes from now on, not because of what happened to us exactly, but it's just incredible. Remember that
Yes.
broken words, but a feeling that we all carry inside.
Tomorrow will be another day. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll embark on a cruise and we don't want to mix, well, all the bad vibes we've had and all the unfortunate events that happened today with the joy and the wonderful experience that, God willing, we'll have again. We entrust ourselves to God. So we're going to end this video here.
And shitty days. I already said that.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, kids. We all have days like this. And you have to remember that a bad day doesn't define your week, and a bad week doesn't define your month, and a bad month doesn't define your year, and a bad year doesn't define your life. Okay, if you're going through a tough situation, remember that it's temporary. Try to see it in the best way possible. What do I need to learn, change, or do differently? We're going to empower ourselves so everything flows better, okay?
Both the good and the bad pass. So we have to try to recognize those good moments to make the most of them, and the bad moments to understand that they will pass. Take a deep breath, be patient, and know that something better is waiting for us ahead. So with this,
If the losses are significant, you can recover them too. You know what happens when you lose? I'm dragging this out, aren't I? But I feel like I have to get it out. When we have a material loss, obviously it's not the money itself that hurts, but all the time you worked to earn that money and how quickly and unfairly it was gone. But you can get that back. If Manuel had been run over and lost his foot, that wouldn't have been something you could get back. I mean, that's a level where there really are things that can't be fixed. If it's something material, you have to let go and work to get it back.
well,
I'm giving myself words of encouragement. I feel like I'm saying it to you all, but I'm also saying it to myself at the same time.
yes, we're going to end this video here again. Eat something and sleep, and tomorrow will be a new day.
If you made it this far, leave a comment. Let's see what we can comment.
A cactus.
A cactus. No, they're wonderful.
Well, but an emoji so that people don't understand anything but instead want to.
A heart.
Blue.
No, blue is great too.
But we shouldn't put anything ugly.
Yes, that's true.
If you comment, yes, look, if you made it this far, you're going to comment the emoji that we're going to leave here on the screen. We'll consider the emoji and add it to the screen in editing.
Just so we know you made it this far.
Comment a lot, and I swear I'll reply to your comment personally. If you leave me a lot of those emojis,
You always reply personally.
sometimes I just give a heart instead of replying to everyone. But if you make it this far and use the emojis, I promise I'll reply, even if it's just a heart. It's not just going to be liking your comment, but actually writing back.
We love you.
We love you. Yes, we love you.
And thank you to everyone who sees us out there and comes up to say hi. Sorry if at any point you caught us in a bad mood. While waiting in line for the blessed letter, I actually started crying out of frustration. A few minutes later, someone asked for a photo. We're human, but we're always grateful when people tell us they watch our content, that they enjoy it. So thank you, we love you very much. Until the next video, which I promise will be full of emotions.
And if it's your first time on this channel, I invite you to watch our favorite videos. We keep a playlist of our favorite videos, since ones like this don't define us, they're just part of the process. It's also part of traveling.
It's part of reality, and it's important to show it because perfect lives don't exist.
Travelers, definitely, on this trip, Colombia really gave us everything. It's just that everything we told you wasn't enough, and we were thinking, well, look, they've already gotten rid of the bad vibes. Tomorrow, everything starts off spectacular. Our cruise begins and everything will be perfect. Well, no. In fact, I think the worst part came yesterday when we decided not to record anything at all. Well, yes, I did take a few shots for you because it was like, is this for real? I mean, is life giving me a sign not to get on that cruise? Is the cruise going to sink? Is the cruise going to sink? Here's our story, but it's not all shown in this video. The worst is still ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the worst because I think the worst was having to buy $300 tickets with JetSmart, which is one of the cheapest and creepiest airlines in Colombia. That's what we've been told and confirmed ourselves. But also, when we arrived in Cartagena de Indias, my suitcase disappeared, and at first we started looking for it. I go to where the guys who hand out the suitcases are. Edma goes to
The JetSmart counter.
I tried to talk to them, but no one knew where the suitcase was. And for a moment, I panicked thinking that it had been stolen from me. I mean, that someone who left before me grabbed it and left with it. We spent about 45 minutes waiting for an answer like, no, look, the suitcase is on the plane. No, look, the suitcase is in another state of Colombia. No, look, the suitcase is in Bogotá. I didn't know where my suitcase was. And after 45, almost an hour, they asked me, look, can I ask you something? Are you a member of the airline or do you know someone from somewhere? Because the suitcase is on standby. I asked, what do you mean by standby?
I want to make a point here because I went ahead of Valerie to talk to the JetSmart girl and she didn't seem to care at all. It was like, oh, you lost your suitcase? We'll look into it. I told her, okay, but... We arrived in Cartagena at 1 in the afternoon. We planned to arrive a day early and relax before the cruise, but we missed the flight. The only ticket available was at 11:30 from Bogota, arriving in Cartagena around 2:50. When I got to the counter, it was already 1:10, 1:20. I said, our check-in for the cruise is at 3 in the afternoon and it's half an hour from the airport. That means if they really lost our suitcase or left it in Bogota, we have 1 hour before we have to rush to the cruise so Valerie can buy some clothes because literally she only had what she was wearing since her carry-on was just electronic equipment. She had no clothes. The girl was completely relaxed. Well, let me send a WhatsApp message. And I was like, sweetheart, call them. I mean, can you call so they can help you quickly, right?
I had to be behind her. I couldn't leave without saying something. I said, please answer me. How much longer? When is the man coming? When will they check if he's on the plane? I was right behind her.
Literally the one who helped us. I mean, the one who was actually attentive. It was like the person in charge of lost luggage. That's when he decided to respond. He came over and began sending messages, making calls, and so on. And in the end, they sent us a picture of our suitcase that was on standby in Bogota, which I find super illogical, first of all, because it says, no, if you are relatives of the pilot or the crew, then you get some benefits, like traveling cheaper, but they put your luggage on standby to load it last. That seems illogical to me since I paid for JetSmart's most expensive plan. Each ticket cost me $300, but a Bogota to Cartagena ticket is usually $50 or $80. I paid $300, which is expensive. And your suitcase did arrive. And my suitcase did arrive.
Both checked in together.
And secondly, only about 15 suitcases came out because it's a low-cost airline. Everyone travels with just a carry-on bag and nothing else. There were 15 suitcases on the belt.
Exactly. The plane wasn't even full.
It doesn't make any sense.
The plane wasn't even full. We didn't have anyone sitting next to us.
So, well, we had to run, but this was really a crazy race.
The craziest part is they say, if your luggage is lost or valuables go missing, they're not responsible.
Exactly.
They don't care. If your suitcase is lost, only you will be affected.
They didn't even give us any compensation for the clothes we had to buy so that Valerie would have something to wear. If you saw the previous video, Valerie is wearing the same clothes as the last 3 days. An old navy outfit which she's been wearing since we left Caracas.
And she's about ready to get up and leave. The worst part is that Edma tells me, Valerie, we have 45 minutes to buy the basics. And that sounds so much fun in the movies. I always wish someone would hand me a credit card and say, buy whatever you want in 45 minutes. But Just my luck, as if everything else wasn't enough, it was the week, well, it's over now. The week of Black Friday, and the mall was packed because there were discounts, but everything was super crowded. Every store had a 20-minute line to buy anything. So, well, I did what I could, but I don't have a swimsuit. That sums it all up for you. So yes, this was a hard blow to this cruise experience. Because not being able to go into the sauna today, into the pool, not being able to enjoy the facilities more because I don't have clothes, obviously it did affect me, but well, here we are and we'll figure out what we're going to do.
Obviously, we're recording another video for you about our whole experience on the cruise, but since that's a video we want it to be spectacular with good vibes. And besides, Royal Caribbean is absolutely not to blame for the whole mess with Wingo, Avianca, and JetSmart.
And El Dorado Airport, which is a disaster. I mean, everything that happened to us is unbelievable. No one wanted to help with our situation, no one cared.
So, obviously, we don't want to include this bit of bad luck, or, well, I'm not sure how to describe all the bad experiences we had in the cruise video. But look, here's a little spoiler. We're in our cabin, and the view we're getting from the front. Oof, but no, that's it. We'll have to wait for the next video to show you, and to remind you again that not everything you see on social media is perfect. Even us, who have what you could call a dream job, we also go through really tough situations.
Of course, these are privileged problems because once again, no one is at risk and everything has a solution. Yes, there are always bad things just around the corner. And I think that a key to living a peaceful life is being flexible. Right? Like, well, I had my little cry, of course. That day I was really frustrated, but well, I had to deal with it, and here we are about to take a shower. Almost wearing Emmanuel's beach shorts in the pool. At this point, I don't even care. We're staying positive.
So, well, now we're really saying goodbye. Look, I think the worst trip we've ever had was after being detained at the airport in Senegal. And if you still haven't seen that video because it was about 3 years ago, it's still on the channel. See you in the next one.
The most eventful trip. I mean, it was one thing after another. Bye.